Hi, and welcome to the Front Forum Focus podcast. Today I'm with Naya Marie Bokelman, and she's from Abu Dhabi, and she's the founder of Illusion, and she'll tell us more about herself.
Hi everyone. So my name is Naya Marie Bokuman and I'm not actually from Abu Dhabi. I'm based in Abu Dhabi, but I'm primarily based in the UAE. And originally, my dad is from Orange County, California, and my mom is from Mount Lebanon in Beirut. No, Mount Lebanon in Lebanon. And I was born in Saudi Arabia. I was raised in Dubai, and I'm primarily based in Abu Dhabi. And the reason why I bring up my mixed cultural background is it aligns to my brand of Illusion, where it's a very open space where people are collaborating, a lot of founders, builders, businesses from all over the world getting to know each other, building with each other, and instead of competing with each other, collaborate with each other and be a healthy support system to one another. So, yeah, I'm happy to share more about Illusion and we'll let George speak and take it accordingly.
Cool. So today we are focusing on how founders and builders navigate credibility, purpose, and community across different regions. So, how have you faced this? Seeing that now you're based in Abu Dhabi but have a diverse background.
So, yeah, in terms of like credibility and trust, I think like for most, it all begins with the relationship you have with the person, and it could be any form of relationship that you build. What are the intentions set on the relationship between you and the other individual? And that's starting to getting to know each other, how the person truly is deep down, how you guys are being transparent with each other with your intentions, what you're building on, what your goals are, what are your aspirations, what do you look forward to in life, which starts building that trust between each other, that there's no hidden agenda. I don't know what other word you want to say. But that just is being very honest and like pure, like and direct with them. Like, this is my goal. This is what I'm achieving for. This is what I do. Are we able to align with each other? And how can we be a healthy support system to one another? Which then starts building onto your credibility. How do you open up about yourself, your background, who you are, about your family, and about, like I said, your dreams and aspirations. Then you're starting to build a healthy relationship with someone you're collaborating with, because then this is starting to build that trust, that credibility, and then how can you guys be healthy support systems to one another? Sometimes people get into a any type of form of relationship that doesn't really speak about the intent, what they're aspiring for. They have that like unspoken action that they don't want to share their goals, they don't want to share their aspirations. They just want to leave things private, and then that kind of like doesn't build that trust. So I'm someone on Illusion that I've built a whole network around the world based on my friends that I grew up with, my family relations, who I want to work with and collaborate that are in the same vibrational level. Like, I'm someone who likes to talk about life, friendships, like how can we also maybe go horse riding, for example, be healthy with one another. And then as well, like, how can we be healthy support systems in business? Because I believe like creating that relationship of enjoyment and then at the same time working together is so valuable for creating long-term trust within the individual, because you're just making sure the person is enjoying life and supportive. So that's where I like lean more towards credibility and trust. And I'm not saying that it happens right away. It takes a lot of time, research, observation. How do you understand this person? Like, for me personally, I'm not perfect. I don't believe anyone's perfect. I have my own flaws in terms of like, being in a relationship. Sometimes I like tend to go so positive, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm tired now, I don't want to talk, and then that person's like, why aren't you like energetic, positive nights? Because also we all go through life circumstances and challenges, and how can we share that with the individual too as well, so they're aware. And that's how you build that human relationship and connectivity with one another, on how you can be healthy support systems with one another, which adds value to building that trust. So, this all aligns with your purpose. You're being honest with your intentions. You're being honest with your dreams and goals that strengthen the credibility. You're being open, genuine, and you're not hiding any mask. You're being your true self. And if that person accepts who you truly are deep down from your heart, then it's meant to be a alignment of an relationship. And a relationship can be, someone can be a big sister to you, someone can be a big brother to you, someone can be like an uncle, shaman, spiritual mom, dad, whatever word you want to call it that makes you happy. That kind of is adding, like, that trust level between you and an individual on an interpersonal relationship.
Great. So I like just to talk about like purpose and authenticity, and how your vision for illusion is building out the outcomes for the vision that you want illusion to become in the near future.
So, illusion is all about making friends, meeting the right people that are aligned with what your aspirations and dreams are, and building an international network of people who are aligned in the same ethics of, you know, honesty, transparency, vibrations, morality, how they conduct themselves, etc. And then it's aligning because I would like to also build like an incubator system that has all different forms of healing, co-working spaces, and event space. And then my end goal is to build a hospitality chain. And Illusion is kind of like a private app that people are able to continuously stay connected no matter where they are around the world. So they always have like that, okay, what if on Saturday, instead of reading a book, I want to talk to new people, because I feel like connecting with new people. And it brings that, like, I feel like I belong somewhere as a foundational place, so they can be heard and be happy and like smile and live life like. So that's the authenticity of Illusion. It's not always about business, it's a nurturing community. It's a community to learn from, how to be guided, find your right mentors, find people you want to work with. It's so diversified in a way where it's just open for all, as long as like we align on the same principles of life. Some people preach the word of God on Illusion, etc. Do you want to connect more on a God phase? Some people are reaching out in terms of spirituality and healing. Do you want to look more into healing? All different philosophies, business principles that Illusion's providing to nurture a healthy environment where people feel like they have a place to feel like I'm in a I'm in a network where I feel like I'm part of a family, safe, happy, secured, and also to grow and be a successful founder, entrepreneur, business owner, whatever you want in that place. So that's the authenticity of Illusion.
Great. I mean, like, different culture is also like a big background of your international community. How do you ensure, um, people communicate in a good manner, with the consideration of different backgrounds and business understanding?
So me as like the founder of Illusion, what I can do best is kind of like make people aware of the individual's cultural background as they've been open with me and I've been open with them, and to advise them on how to understand each other more on an international relation level. Like, for example, you and I, George, are talking now. You're from Kenya, I'm from a mixed background. How do we communicate differently and understand each other? And how can we respect the differences across people and different regions too? And then share experiences to improve on that human connection and culturally understand each other, because we grew up from different cultures. So how do we make sure that we find a common ground that like we, understand each other in, and also get to learn about? Like, it would be super cool to, like, as a hypothetical for example, like I'm learning a lot about Kenya. As we share, you share a lot about Kenya, what is happening in Kenya, etc. And then I share a lot about like the UAE, and then I open up about where I'm from too as well, because of my international background. Like, I think my mom and dad that I'm a young self-made entrepreneur, and I've traveled to a lot of countries at a young age. And from my upbringing of my mom and dad that are in education, I really wanted to serve people and give people an opportunity to be connected to me as a human, and what my friendships and business partners or whatever you want to call it, because at the end of the day, as we grow older, everyone's client. So how do we like find, like, a nurturing space that, like, allows people to have more access to opportunities, learn more about the markets, be around successful founders, entrepreneurs, advisors, so on. So I think that kind of like builds that cultural understanding too, as like, if I'm speaking to someone now in Australia, I would love to learn more about Australia through a person's experience rather than just randomly going to Australia and discovering it about myself. I mean, it's cool to also do that as a gypsy and be like, okay, I'm traveling to a country, I don't want to know anything, and I'm just going to go with the flow. That's super cool. But also, Illusion gives that opportunity, like, hey, I'm heading to Australia and I would love to meet for a coffee, at least to have something where I'm going to Australia and I find like someone I can connect with and maybe get more opportunities when I'm in Australia, and they can open their access and network for that person too, if they align, obviously, which is another thing that I also help in terms of like making sure that everyone is in alignment. And like, I basically flex everyone on Illusion. I speak highly of everyone, etc. And I generally want to ensure that everyone on Illusion is genuine, is aligned with at least the core principles, and then speak highly about their strengths, contributions, values, what they're building on in a very transparent way. So it makes it easier for people to be interconnected around the world.
Yeah, great. Final question. What does trust mean in your work, and uh, how has it played a role in your journey and on meaningful growth?
For you and I,
Yep.
okay, I think what was super beautiful along our journey growing together is, I think you and I have observed each other and how we were growing from day one, starting our different ventures and being a healthy support system to one another. Sometimes you come to me for advice and see what can actually help me grow in, vice versa. I come to you for advice and help you on what you can grow in. We've opened up our next networks to each other that can support our dreams, goals, and visions, and then just share about life, like, and what we're looking forward to, and being a healthy support system to one another. And I truly appreciate working with you, George. I feel like we could learn a lot from each other in different ways. And yeah, it's been a great journey, and I would love to see in the long run, like, as I look at long-term value rather than a short outcome, how, like, when we're older, maybe we'll have our own families, we'll live in a different place. Hey, George, remember the day we started growing with each other, like, both of our businesses together back in the day? And it's just so cool to have that like healing prospect. Like, I want to like follow up with all the people that have been there since day one, and then also, like, you know yeah, that's what's beautiful about like working together in this industry. So I think that's the most valuable thing within our relationship, working together as founders. And I think it's super cool how we've kind of seen the journey that we've been through by being very transparent on who we're connected to, who our networks are, how do we get involved, etc. and then supporting one another like a brother and sister would, and then hopefully supporting more individuals around the world based on our learning experience and doing good in society, and making positive beautiful outcomes that like bring happiness and joy in the world.
Great. So today's session was really great. Thank you, Naya, for coming to the Front Forum Focus podcast. We hope to see you in future sessions on updates on Illusion and also like your growth on your platform. And any final words towards the audience?
Likewise to you, George. Thank you too so much. And another cool thing is I came to a coffee shop to show the value of working like and networking over Zoom meetings, etc. And that's how George and I started growing with one another and building that trust factor and experience with one another. And I hope that there is more trust in the tech industry, meeting individuals that are like minded and wanting to basically work in freedom wherever they are in the world, and have trusted relations around the world where they can do this too as well. So, thank you so much. Have a beautiful day, blessing week, and stay in touch, George.
Sure. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.